Hi, I'm talking Saints esports, and I'm here with head coach Eric Volden. Eric, how has the season so go far? Actually, you've gone through your first fall season, and now you're in the midst of your spring season. And this is obviously the inaugural season for Saints esports.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about how things been going so far. Let's talk a little bit about the fall.
Yeah. So fall season, of course, like you said, Phil, it was our first season that we've ever done esports here on Seward County Community College. So it was definitely a learning experience for everybody. Not only for the students to kind of learn how to play the games, learn how to compete, and just kind of the style of competition that we're getting into, but learning for us, for me as coaches, just kind of navigating the league and the scheduling and all that kind of thing. So definitely a learning experience. But we had a great time in the fall semester. We didn't win as many games as I would have liked, but we did have some people qualify for playoffs last semester. So we were really excited for our Rocket League team, and a couple of our Madden players last semester had really great finishes just on the national level. So it was really exciting for us. Getting into the spring semester, these guys have really stepped up their level of competition. So they have won a lot more games, working together a lot more as a team. They're communicating really well in their games and everything, and it's been really great to see their progress and growth this semester. So we have a lot more qualifying for playoffs this time around.
Okay, now obviously, the first season actually was, being the first, but you also were helped a lot by some technical difficulties out over here.
Yeah.
But that's sort of, what goes when you're
Yeah.
building a program from scratch out over there. So how has been the response? It's been embraced? A lot of kids coming in, or students? A lot of, what kind of response have you been gotten so far?
Yeah, no, and the response has actually been great. So whenever people find out that we do have an esports team, it's so new and exciting. And I have had a lot of people just kind of come in and say, hey, I play Rocket League, I'm pretty decent, or hey, I love Rainbow Six, and I'd like to come in and play. So the response has really been great, which also, of course, helps me out with recruiting a whole lot.
Right.
Whenever they're coming to you and beating down your door instead
Right.
of instead of going out and looking for them. But yeah, we really expect the program to grow. Last semester we had 17 students on the roster. This semester we have 24.
Okay.
Next semester I'm hoping to be up to around 30. So we'll have about 30 students in here, and that is split over about 13 different titles that we play. So not everybody will be playing multiple titles. Some of them will be concentrating on just like maybe one or two different games. Some of them will be concentrating on one title. But yeah, just kind of help it keep growing, keep expanding. Getting into more competitions. We're hoping next fall, to be able to actually field more teams within specific titles. So, for example, this last semester and this semester, we have one Rocket League team.
Right.
So, the next semester, we're hoping to field actually two separate Rocket League teams. So, not only will just kind of increase our participation in the league and increase our chances of making it to playoffs and bringing home some hardware.
Okay. So, what do you look for in, let's sort of talk about this in terms of sort of athletics and such. And it is actually, because you had said that basically, you're recruiting and these kids are playing to win just like anything else, right? And obviously, it's called esports for a reason. So, what are you actually looking for in terms of, competitor or what do you look for as a recruiter too, I guess?
So some of it is, a lot of it is playing the games that we are sanctioned to play. Because a lot of kids will come up and say, hey, well, I play this game, and I'm really good at it. But unfortunately, it's not one of the games that's sponsored by our league.
Right.
So we have to go through our league, and they're the ones that decide what games we're playing that semester and what the rules are for those games that semester. So if it's outside of there, then we can't, we can't really, offer a whole lot. Somebody comes in and says they play, they're like world ranked in Splatoon, or I've got a guy that's top 7,000 in the world in Tetris, but our league doesn't offer Tetris. So, but I ask them, of course, what games that they play, and in all the games that we play, there's a competitive ranked scene, and those guys know what it is. So they're playing matches online against people, all over the world, competitively already. So we find out what their rank is in those games. As long as they've played so many matches and have an adequate rank, and then a lot of it's personality too. You have to have a personality that really jives with everybody else. As far as that teamwork and communication, because it's not. Some of these titles are individual titles, like the Madden guys or the guys that are playing Super Smash Brothers or something. That's an individual title, so they can play by themselves. But some of our team titles, you need that synergy between the group. And just because you're the best player doesn't necessarily mean you have the best synergy. And there's no room for all-stars.
Right.
For
Just
an
like anything else,
all-star.
it's about chemistry.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone has to work together to sort of go, and I'm sure, there's a lot of team sports over there that you have, team games that you have to play over there. That one's better at certain things, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they also fit into, especially in the team games like that, they also fit into different roles.
Right.
So that's. Some people are like an assault role, some people are a tank role, some people are a support role.
Like Rainbow Six, right?
Yeah, like Rainbow Six or Overwatch or Valorant or just a lot of those games that we get into have different roles that people play. So you got to make sure you have your roles filled, great team synergy, great communication, make sure that they're familiar and with the competitive scene and can stay up with everybody else. So yeah, there's a lot that really goes into it. But it's been nice having, like I said, just people come in and ask about it and say, hey, how could I join? I've been in contact with some of the area coaches because a lot of the area coaches or a lot of the area schools have started esports programs.
Right, like Liberal High School.
Yeah, like Liberal, Liberal. Huguenon's got theirs really rolling. I talked to the guys over in Guyman quite a bit. The coaches over there, really great guys. They've had their program for a couple of years. Laverne has a really strong program.
Texas?
Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah, Laverne. They're kind of down by Woodward, and I actually went down there on a recruiting trip a few days ago to talk to a student there. They're bringing home banners. They're bringing home trophies down there. So I'd like to get a couple of those kids up this next semester.
Right. Now, I'm sure that people will be absolutely blown away to a certain extent, or really surprised that there's actually NJCAA rules, regulations, and all that, and you have to follow it. Like you said, it's just like a regular athletics, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, last semester, a lot of it was really learning the rules for the individual games that we're playing because everything is set up so specifically. And if the game is not set up to the NJC specifications, you could forfeit. It could cause you to lose that game. So yeah, a lot of it was learning the rules and navigating, and then problems do arise sometimes during the course of an evening. So sometimes a lot of what I do is I'm sitting here on the Discord servers, messaging the other coaches, messaging the league administrators, find out what's going on and how to get problems fixed.
Now, do you find that when students come in or the players come in over there that and maybe they have never played esports over there, that they have to follow the rules, that suddenly it's not that they come in, sit down, and just play. They have to do certain things.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, it hasn't really been too bad because, again, a lot of these guys understand the competitive scene. And so the league, the way they set things up is like really close to the professional scene.
Right.
With very little variation, if at all. So like in our Call of Duty titles or Rainbow Six titles, Overwatch titles, those have really big competitive scenes already. So they just kind of just take those rules that, hey, these are what the pros are playing, so we're just going to kind of copy these over. So most of those guys are a little familiar with that. Some of it is a little bit different. So like Mario Kart was a new title we got into, and we're actually doing really well in Mario Kart this semester. But that was a little bit different because the competitive scene is a little weird with some Nintendo games sometimes.
Right.
And just getting the students used to picks and bans, how to set up the lobby, how to do those kind of things was again a learning experience at the beginning of the semester. But they've got it down, and we've got some guys doing really well in Mario Kart.
Yeah, and you talked about Nintendo and such, and you're actually going through different platforms. You just have PC, you have Nintendo. you haven't had any console games though, correct?
No, we do.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the Madden, all the guys play Madden
Okay.
on console, either
Okay.
PlayStation or Xbox.
Okay, so
So-
just throughout just runs the gamut basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Eric, I appreciate you taking the time. How is this? You said that the spring season is going really, really well, right?
Yeah.
And things look really well. You're gonna look like you're gonna have a lot more people running into the playoffs, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so playoffs, the way the league is set up, we have to play so many matches, you know, with a certain win percentage, so we can qualify for playoffs.
Right.
And then I'm actually going through this week and making sure we get registered for playoffs.
Right.
But you know, last semester we had 3 teams that were going to go. It was a Rocket League and 2 for Madden. And this semester we're going to have about 9 teams. Through different titles
Right.
that are heading to the playoffs. So we got a couple of guys heading back from Madden, a couple of guys heading back from Mario Kart, Valorant, Overwatch, and Rainbow Six, and even our Fortnite build team. Our Fortnite build team qualifies. They're kicking it right now. They're doing pretty good.
Now, basically, let's just say everything basically stays here, correct, on campus over
Yeah.
there because
Yeah.
of the, I guess, the technology. You guys don't really travel right now. Everything basically stays here, correct, even for the playoffs.
Yeah, even for the playoffs. We have been invited to a couple of different LAN events this year, but with us being a new program and you know trying to just navigate, you know,
Right.
fielding a team and competing, we didn't feel like we were able to do that. But I'm hoping we might be able to do some of that in the future.
So basically, we'd be going on the road basically with
Yeah.
a big room, and everyone would be
Right.
playing out over there, meeting out over, which would be great for them too. You know, just like everyone else, you get to network and
Yeah.
meet people and see your basic, gamers as well.
Yeah. We were invited last semester. We were invited down to Southwestern Oklahoma State. They have a pretty big esports program. This semester, we were invited to Highlands Community College, and then Emporia wanted us to come and play with them for a little bit. Again, unfortunately, we weren't able to do that because we're still figuring stuff out. So, but I do hope to be able to do some of that in the future.
And one of the things here is that when do the kids play? They play basically at night, right?
Yeah, at night.
This is over there, and to be quite honest, it doesn't really affect them in terms of classes during the day if they're taking class.
Yeah.
They're just basically spending their nights, and this is what they want to do.
Yeah. The league has it set up where there are 2 different game times per day at 5:30 and 6:30. So usually the shorter titles, they'll queue in at 5:30 and they'll play the matches at 5:30. So things that don't take very long, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, that kind of thing, those games are usually over really quick. And then the longer titles will queue in at 6:30.
Right.
So like playing Valorant, playing Overwatch, Rainbow Six, those are a little later in the evening to give us a little more time to get through those. And sometimes the games are done within like an hour, an hour and a half. And sometimes, we're here till 10 o'clock in a back and forth match. So.
And you're playing the entire week, or is it just basically Monday through Fridays, or just Tuesday through Friday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday through Fridays. Okay. Tuesday through Fridays. There are a few titles that we could play on Monday evenings, but it wasn't titles that anybody really wanted to get into.
And again, this is all set up by the NJCAA,
Yeah.
right? And so whatever they play, that's when you guys play.
Yeah, whenever they say, hey, this is what we're playing, this is when we're playing it, you guys make a team or not. So.
All right, and also the club has a YouTube page along with ours. It's colleges over there. But if you guys want to stream and watch, they can also go to the Seward County Community College esports YouTube page, and they can just type that in on YouTube and they'll find it.
Yep.
And we'll link it a lot of times on our page as well. So if you ever want any more information, you can go over there. Eric, how can they get in touch with you if they're interested in joining?
So you can always shoot me an email, eric.volden@sccc.edu. Look for me on Discord as well. It's Seward County CC Coach Volden. I know it's kind of a long name. And you can always, come up here and check out the esports lab. I'd love to give you a tour, show you the facilities. And
at the tech school.
Yeah, we are over here at the Industrial Tech School. T140 is the lab number. And we're right across the hallway from Louis Cafe. So.
All right, Eric, we will. We appreciate the time. We'll definitely get back in touch with you and let you find out how the team did in terms of playoffs. And thank you so much.
Yep.